Hello and welcome to another edition of Feel This Pain. I'm Ken McKim, and tonight we're going to be talking a little bit about something known as hemiplegic migraine. So how does this differ from your garden variety migraine headache? Well, it's a fairly significant difference. Hemiplegic migraine is basically a subtype of migraines with aura, and in this case, aura means a set of symptoms that occur before the headache even starts. So that's fun, right? You can think of it as an early warning signal from your body to let you know that a hell of a headache is on its way and you better get ready for it. For a lot of people, auras are primarily visual in nature. You might see some sort of zigzaggy lines obscuring your vision, swirly colors like a kaleidoscope has been superimposed over your normal eyesight. For people with hemiplegic migraine, it's a little more significant than that. The aura can also take the form of partial paralysis on one side of your body. That's what hemiplegic means. So you're probably going to think you're having a stroke the first time this ever happens to you. It's going to be terrifying, I would imagine, thinking you're having a stroke and possibly dying. Get to the hospital, of course, but those who have hemiplegic migraine, of course, their symptoms of paralysis will subside after the migraine runs its course. Stroke people not so lucky most of the time. But can you imagine how freaky that would be the first time it ever happened to you? It's insane. And the symptoms can vary from episode to episode. One time you might have the blinding pain and only a little bit of paralysis. The next time you might have just pretty mild headache, all things considered, and be really struggling to move any part of you on one side of your body. So it's a horrible grab bag of pain and paralysis. Fun for you. So sorry you have to go through this. Now, as far as symptoms, I found this list on WebMD. You've got things like throbbing pain, pins and needles, often moving from your hand up your arm. We just talked about the numbness, weakness, and paralysis. You could also experience a loss of balance and coordination. You might mix your words up, might have trouble remembering words, or your speech might become slurred, and people might just think you're hungover and drunk. And then, of course, the classics, extreme sensitivity to light, sound, and smell, confusion, and even, in rare instances, coma. There are two types of hemiplegic migraine. You've got familial hemiplegic migraine, which, as you might infer, means that other people in your family have it. If someone has all the symptoms but there's no family connection, then they generally call that sporadic hemiplegic migraine. There is a lot of disagreement on how best to treat these kinds of migraines. Some people feel that calcium channel blockers are the way to go. We're talking in this instance about things like Verapamil is one brand name of calcium channel blocker, and the other one I believe is Topamax. Both of these are used to help increase blood flow and have been successfully used as treatment for migraines for some people. Not everybody responds as well to it. Now, the National Health Service, that's what they're called, over there in the UK, have some recommendations on their website. The first two are very hard to pronounce. The first one is something called Petadolex, which is formulated from an extremely toxic plant. So if you just pick up the plant that contains this and eat it, you'd probably die, which would cure the migraine, but that's not the ideal way to go about it, is it? So after they purify it, of course, they put it in a pill and you take it, and some people have had success with that. The other one is known as Parthenolide. It's an herbal extract also, but the studies that they did in the UK found that people react best to Parthenolide if they suffer from 4 or more hemiplegic migraines within a 30-day period. So if you are lucky enough to only get 1 or 2 of these a month, this is not going to help you. They also have some other items on their list that most of us have heard of. CoQ10, vitamin B2, and I believe they said that magnesium also has helped some people with their hemiplegic migraine. It's great if it works for you. The benefit, of course, using vitamins is that you don't have to worry about your insurance covering them, or not covering them, as the case may be. The bottom line is that these are incredibly painful and debilitating migraines. You add the pain that you would normally get with a migraine, you lump in some partial paralysis on top of it, which has got to be one of the most disconcerting things ever. And this will completely disrupt any kind of normalcy you might otherwise have in your life. It's going to mess with your job, your relationships, your social life, because you can't do anything when you're in the throes of these types of migraines, okay? Any migraine. I suffered with cluster headaches, okay? You can't do anything while it's happening. Not a thing. And you never know when it's going to hit. And so planning your life around migraine or cluster is a hard thing to do. It's tricky. And there's not a lot of people out there that are understanding, including, unfortunately, employers. So if you know someone who suffers with hemiplegic migraine, I implore you to give them all the understanding, empathy, and compassion that they deserve, because they're going through hell. Believe me. You don't want it. You wouldn't want it. You wouldn't wish it on, well, you might wish it on your worst enemy. It's pretty painful. Might be good for your worst enemy to get these. And that's all the time we have for this week. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to send them to me, Ken at don'tpunishpain.com. You can also follow me over on Twitter at don'tpunishpain. That's all the time we have this week, so I'll sign off for now. But until next time, I'm Ken McKim. You take care.